watching the Bills-Broncos game on my laptop, which is right below me here, and drinking a little bit of an Angry Orchard and just relaxing a bit. You can see it's kind of snowed outside today, so you got a nice kind of backdrop behind me there, which is pretty cool and pretty kind of scenic. I haven't watched much football this year. I was gonna try to watch a lot of Patriots games, but I kind of fell by the wayside. I live in New England, so I am a Patriots fan. They play later today, and I'm gonna be watching that game. I'm trying to remember who they're playing. Oh, I don't remember. It's not the 49ers. It's not the Bears. It's not the Rams. It's not the Seahawks. Who are they playing? I cannot, for the life of me, remember. But they kind of turned their ship around this year, going from a non-playoff team last year to being a pretty good team this year. With Mike Vrabel, the old Texans coach. But it's currently Saturday. We have a 3-day weekend. It's Martin Luther King weekend, and I figure now's the best time. I don't drink a lot, but a good time. If I'm going to be drinking, might as well drink when I got a 3-day weekend coming up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Trying to get to 10 subscribers at the moment. So I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, we have a long weekend, which is awesome. I think a lot of people do. If you work any sort of job outside of retail, you probably will have a long weekend. I'm a teacher, so we had a week this full week, have a short week next week, and actually next week's our last 4 days of the second quarter, and I'm going to transition from teaching 8th graders to 7th graders. I'm going to be teaching economics, something I've actually never taught before in depth, but the superintendent ordered me a bunch of books, so for this first time I'll probably be using the books more than I normally would. I'm actually excited to start. Bo Nix just got a first down running. I'm rooting for the Bills here. I think if the Patriots do make it through, Bo Nix and Drake May, the Patriots quarterbacks, they're both young, would be an interesting matchup just to see kind of the future of the NFL match up together. But I am a Bills fan right now. I want them to make it through. It's been a weird football year. I mean, Lamar Jackson isn't in it. Patrick Mahomes isn't in it. Really just left is Josh Allen. It was a weird year. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs kind of flopped. So did the Ravens. I don't know what went on this year with those two teams. I know some football people are going to be like, well, they lost this player, they lost this player. Some people actually know what they're talking about. I just watch it for entertainment. I'm not a huge football fan or anything. So, I'm tapping in right now so I can have something to talk about when the Super Bowl's playing. That's pretty much it. Bo Nix again running, wow. But yeah, like I was saying, quarter 3 is coming up. We're basically halfway through the school year. Quarter 2 went by really quickly. For the most part, every kid in the 8th grade has been really, really good. I got about 2, 3 that I really have to worry about. But out of 40-something kids, 3 kids who will kind of get in trouble. It's not it's sad. As a teacher, you try to make it so like everybody is doing the best they can, but it's just the reality of teaching. You're gonna have some students that will just not do anything. So I've kind of grown to understand that, not really worry about it. I do my job. I tell the parents I'm respectful. Don't yell. Don't do anything that would get me in trouble. And basically just put everything on them. At a certain point, you can't really do much. You can be kind. You can talk about, outside of school stuff. Try to have a relationship, but if they're constantly doing stuff that does get them in trouble, they're gonna gaslight and, we don't have a good relationship. And I'm happy the principal told me yesterday, like, yeah, that's what he said. I don't have a good relationship with Mr. Doring. The principal's smart. He knows that this one kid who said that is getting in trouble all over the place. So he was like, yeah, I can tell you why. It's because you're constantly getting in trouble. Mr. Doring would love to have a better relationship, and I would. But he's just doing stuff that will get him in trouble, and I'm not the guy to do it with. I'm sorry. I don't let things slide. I'm in my 7th year teaching. That kind of letting things slide and being worried about getting a kid in trouble or sending an email home is kind of done. In the beginning of my teaching career, I was like, well, if I do this and I do that, and maybe if I, do this, then the kid, at a certain point, it's just like kids, sometimes kids need to get in trouble, and I think it's better for them in the long run anyway. When there's really no consequences, it's consequences in their mind, emailing a parent and whatnot, but the consequences right now in middle school are just so much less than they would be in real life, so kind of introducing them to the idea of having consequences is, I think, better than to, communicating that you can do what you want and no consequences are going to happen. But it is kind of sad that your mind kind of ruminates on those things as teachers instead of all the good. The vast majority of everybody doing what they're supposed to, learning. Oh, fumble. What a flag, though. Broncos just fumbled the ball. But there's a flag. I think Bills picked it up, though. It looks like it. But there is a flag. Actually, they're talking about a false start, and that kind of reminds me. I did think I saw a Bills player jump offside, so I don't think they're going to get the ball here. Yep. Yeah, so Bills kind of squandered that false start. That means they're repeating first down. Broncos still up the ball. They're in the red zone right now. Yeah, that's tough. Anyway, yeah, this Angry Orchard's pretty good. I don't drink a lot of Angry Orchards. I was thinking about getting some beer, but I kind of wanted something sweet, something that wasn't beer tasting. So I got Angry Orchard instead. It's one of those ones that I can drink, but you can get sick. Your stomach because it kind of starts hurting because it's got a lot of sugar in it. 180 calories too, so it's not the healthiest, but I'm going on my diet on Monday, as you say. How many sugar does it have? 18 or 16? 18 grams of sugar. 16 added grams of sugar, so they just pump sugar into these, but that's alright. I'm still young. I think, Broncos guy dropped it. Perfect pass, right in the numbers. And he dropped it, a little nervous, I guess. Wow, just dropped, not even punched out. Wow. You'd think the Bills would probably win this game. They have more experience in the playoffs than the Broncos do. But the Broncos are a good team. I like the playoffs because you really never know what's going to happen. You really just never know. It's going again. Overthrown. 4th and 6. They're going to have to kick a field goal. They spent about 8 minutes on it. So on that drive, first drive. But yeah, I am excited to get back to 7th grade. I think sometimes the way to fix any issues with students is to just take a break. It allows you to chat with them without any kind of idea of having to get them to do stuff they don't want to do, right? You can just kind of chat with them. And that can really help your relationship later on. But yeah, it's something I'm working on, trying just to let go. You always ruminate, think about, if I did this or that different, maybe it would have been different, but you really can't change the past. And in a certain respect, I don't ever get someone in trouble for no reason. They always do something. So I'm not too upset about that. And the kids, they're going to try to gaslight, but the majority of kids understand, these kids are always getting in trouble one way or another, so it's just frustrating. It's just can we please just have a day when I don't need to really worry about managing you? I want to teach, but that's just never the case, is it? The bad thing is I have a number of these kids all in the same class, and that's the rough part. And I do care about the little things. Like if I'm up in the front room, I want you to be listening. I want you to be paying attention or pretending. I don't want you looking at your friend and smirking or laughing or doing, hand signals. That's a warning for me. That's something I don't want to have happen. And they're always saying, I'm getting in trouble for nothing. And I'm like, well, I do give you multiple warnings to not do this stuff, and it just continues. So I don't know what other teachers are allowing or whatever, and I think they're probably not allowing that stuff. I think it's just I was unlucky getting these same kids all in the same class, the last class of the day as well. So it is what it is. So I think the principal and the vice principal understand this too. So I really have no fear or worry about getting any reprimanding from these individuals, which is a good thing. But like I said, I am ready for a break from teaching this one class at least, and I'm ready to kind of maybe hopefully have a chance to remedy or make the relationship better, so that when I do teach them again in my 4th quarter, it will be a little better, it will start off better, as I think the 7th grade is going to do this 3rd quarter. But yeah, Angry Orchard's not bad. Not bad at all. I do like the picture in the back there with the nice kind of tree covered in snow and the mountain in the back. It's a nice place I'm living at. I live with another individual. It's his house. I rent a room. And I would really love to be able to afford a place myself, but apartments are just so expensive at the moment, and I have to find an apartment that's relatively close to the place I work. And really there's nothing that I would be comfortable affording. I want to be able to live without having to stress about money. So I'm waiting till I get some pay raises or something like that. I've been looking at potentially getting a job for Saturday, one day of the weekend at least, to bring in some extra money. And I applied for a Dunkin' Donuts job, which I know I'd get because I've worked there before. Wow, Bills just ran right through. And they're on the other opposite end of the field already. But I applied for Dunkin' Donuts, and they keep sending me emails like you should interview, but their interviews are always during the weekday. And it's a computer sending me this. It's not like a person where I can respond and say, I work a full-time job right now, can I please interview on a weekend? It's always like a no reply email, like schedule your interview, and it's just like I can't. So I think I'm gonna wait till summer, just focus on getting through the school year and worrying about that over the summer. It is a shame that I am stressed out about these kids. I do care how or what my reputation is as a teacher, and I think that's normal. But it's just like they're 13. I have a certain respect because I really don't care about what they think. All I care about is like how the other kids are affected by these kids' behavior. And that's the sad part. I care about the kids who come in every day and do what they're supposed to. And I can't seem to get these kids to just tone it down. And they do. They're not like shouting or screaming in the classroom, but they do the little things. And like I said, I care to stop the little things. I know that they know that, throwing a little eraser bits at each other during a class period is something that shouldn't happen. I know that. So when I do write them up for it, I've given them warnings, 3 warnings. When I do write them up for it, they kind of get upset, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And I know they're middle schoolers and they're 13, but they are. I do appreciate the parents. They always say we're trying to work on their kids' behavior, but it's just very frustrating as a teacher, and I think that's why a lot of teachers end up leaving. It's just like, it's an impossible job, and we're held to impossible standards. But 1st and 10 here. We'll see what we got going on. Ooh, a bullet right down the middle. 1st down. Yeah, I'm trying to also, it doesn't seem like it drinking Angry Orchards, but I'm trying to get a gym routine in. I would love to be able to really kind of lock in gym-wise and get to the gym every day. Just gotta figure out a way to, is it gonna be more cardio-based or strength-based? I would love to do it more strength. I think that's funner. And I know when I tried to do my running thing, it was just packed. I went after Christmas break and it was so crowded at the gym. It was incredibly crowded. So I just kind of walked out. I was like, I'm not doing that. I also want to learn Breaking Benjamin's Phobia album on guitar. I already know one song, The Diary of Jane. I can play that on guitar. But I want to learn the rest. Today I learned the intro to Breathe. But being able to play through that whole album would be pretty cool, and just throwing it up on my other YouTube channel called What's Guitar would be sweet. I got some kids who found me on there from my old school I worked at and have subscribed. But learning that Phobia album would be pretty sweet. I would love to really get, I am decent at guitar, but really get really good. I'm trying to learn or perfect the Nightmare solo. They did a quarterback sneak, the Bills. I like they made it. Broncos guy running away with the ball. I think forward movement was stopped. But yeah, let's see what they got. The commentators are arguing that they're not blowing the whistle fast enough. Yeah, forward movement is definitely, well, I don't know. It was stopped for a second for sure. See if I get a thumbnail right here. I'm upset the Detroit Lions didn't make it. I hope Dan Campbell keeps his job. He did change that franchise. But we all know how owners are, and we all know how cutthroat the NFL is. It's the pinnacle of football. It does make sense that it is cutthroat. Alright, we got the Bills here on the 12th yard line. 1st and 10. They give it to Cook. He gets like 2 yards. I think the last 2 days on my quarter 3 is going to be just watching a movie. You know, I would really appreciate not having to write anybody up. But I may have to. I do think that in the long run, just consistency and if they do something that earns a write-up, just do it. I think that will really help with quarter 4 because their behavior has went from here to here to here. I'm trying to get it to be where I was deem it to be acceptable, which is, just during my lesson, just pretending at least to focus and not be throwing little eraser bits at each other. That's really all I ask for. It's pretty minimal. I don't hound the kids and you gotta do this work. I'm not that type of teacher. I am the type of teacher to expect that when I'm in front of the room, to just be pretending to listen. They're not directly disrespectful. I've never been directly disrespected by this group. But it's like the minor things. It's like indirect disrespect. It's, like I'm teaching and they're like looking at each other and laughing or smiling instead of like looking at me or just looking at the window. If you're looking out the window, fine. You're not disrupting anybody else's learning. But it's that kind of stuff that is so frustrating because it's minor, but in my book, it just shouldn't happen still. Anyway, I'm gonna get another one of these ones right here. I'll be right back. Looks like the Bills are close to getting a touchdown, so I'll check in a second. It's actually getting kind of hot in here. I think it might be just because I'm drinking. It was freezing this morning. It was real cold. I had to put the space heater on. place I live at doesn't have heat up in the upstairs, which isn't bad. I mean, I put the little space heater on and it's already hot in here. It's not a super large room or anything, and I have my door closed. I got a whole upstairs to myself. It's actually not a bad setup for the price. I don't pay. Bills just got a touchdown. Nice. I don't pay electric, heat, Wi-Fi. I just pay my rent to basically stay in his house, and that's that. I think it works well for both of us. He gets monthly income, and I get to stay in a cheap area without worrying about bills. Save some money. But yeah, I would really like to have my own place. I'm living off microwavable meals, and I will say it's my own choice. I don't want to have to it feels weird cooking in this kitchen, you know. So I'm living off like microwavable meals and such. But like I keep saying, I am young. I'll survive. And you know, work during the summer and find a place for next year near would be awesome. I'm hoping to get a place in the quote-unquote city nearby. They got Planet Fitness close. The gym is about 20 minutes away now, which is just a little too far. If it was like 10 minutes, I would go much more frequent, you know, but if I were to live in the city with the gym there, I would be there all the time because there's really no excuse. I was gonna go to the city I'm talking about this day, but it was snowing. I didn't know it was gonna snow. I haven't been paying attention to the weather, so I wasn't able to get to Walmart. I'm gonna buy a microwave and just bring it up in my room. And I was gonna get some other stuff like a mic for my ASMR videos too. I hope that this channel does start to pop off. That'd be awesome. Try to get some lights and do some role plays or something a little bit more ASMR-y. But for now, I'm just kind of doing chill videos. I have a Lewis and Clark costume that I think I might do like a Lewis and Clark role play. I bought it for a lesson I was gonna do. A fumble. That was lucky. Got back to Bonix. But I got it for the Lewis and Clark game, but we're not gonna be able to play that this quarter. We're gonna play it on quarter 4. These things are good. I will say these apple Angry Orchard's apple hard cider is actually really good. I just can't, they're just so sugary. You drink too much and you will get sick. It will not feel good. But while I'm at it, let me show you my guitar. I bought this years ago, and I need to get it fixed. I don't know if you know anything about guitars, if you're here watching, but this pickup is sunken in. You can see it there. It's supposed to be up here, this one, but it's sunken in, and it doesn't work. So I have to play it using this pickup, where I should be able to play with both, or even just this one, but I have to play it using I believe that's called a neck pickup, with which does, affect the tone. But yeah, this is the guitar I bought. It was like $380, I think. A Schecter, Sun Valley, California, USA. Guitar there. It's a good axe. I like it. It does its job. It's nothing insane, but I've tried my best to keep good care of it. The neck's been polished. Keeping the strings cut. But, yeah. I do like it. I'm trying my best to learn, more difficult songs, Anybody knows guitar, you got the D chord. This isn't drop A sharp tuning, so it's gonna not sound great, but D chord, you got your G chord, got your C chord, E chord, you got your bar chords. But, just watching football, watching TV, doing some exercises, the spider walks. Those types of deals. Right now I'm learning, I want to learn how to sweep pick. That'd be cool to play like Sinister Gates of the Avenged Sevenfold. That's the solo I'm learning, the Nightmare solo. That's the solo I want to learn. It's quicker than that, which makes it difficult. It's and that's in drop D, so the tuning's off. But dang it. Yeah, so I want to learn that. But right now, I think I'm gonna focus on the Phobia album by Breaking Benjamin. Because the plan for the Nightmare solo was to play it for Halloween and then post it as like Happy Halloween, and then just have that solo playing, because it is a spooky solo, especially with the other music. I guess the Broncos went 3-0, it looks like. Anyway, if you are listening, tell me about what's going on. What's worrying you? What's not worrying you? Things going well? I'd love to hear about you guys. What's going on in your life now? Yeah, just any goals you got. I know it's still January. So January 2026. What goals do you got? Are they fitness related? Are they financial related? Are they creative? Relationship related? Are you proposing? Are you breaking up? Whatever's going on. I think 2026 is going to be your year if you're listening to this. I think all you have to do is just make it your year. They got a dancing Emmett Smith on the TV right now, which is pretty funny. I guess my goals would be find a apartment where I can live financially comfortable, learn all the songs on Phobia, get into a good fitness habit and grow this channel. I think that should be my goals there. I don't like making relationships a goal because I think relationships should be like a thing that just happens. If you were to make a goal, maybe like I want to go on some dates or something, or try to find a relationship. I don't think you should run into a relationship though. I know my sister has been looking for a husband for years, and she's dated some idiots. I will say that. So they're playing the Texans. The Patriots are playing the Texans tomorrow at 3. So I'm happy that we have Monday off, so I can watch all these games actually, and really just not worry about sleep. Even though the last one's at 6 o'clock. The Rams and the Bears. Yeah, it's been it's been going alright though this year. I'm just trying my best to make it a better year, and I think that starts with your mental. I think that starts how your outlook is, and my goal is just be positive. Think about the positives, because to be honest, compared to the rest of the world, I mean, if you live in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, a lot of Europe, I mean, you are living the life that people dream of, even if you don't think it, even if other people around you, have houses, are married, have kids, you are living a life that is privileged. And I think that's super important to kind of focus on and to realize, Ooh, fumble. Cook fumbled it, running back for the Bills, and the Broncos got it. You gotta love playoffs, because these things really hurt. These things really can affect the game, and it seems to happen more often because of nerves or whatever it is. But that was a good hit by the Broncos. Just hit the ball out. Boom. The world has plenty, this commercial says. Problems, plenty of problems. So find your problem. Why would I want to find a problem? Are they going to say, you want to find a problem to fix it? I got enough problems, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where they're like, the last step is like self-actualization. Need to have food and like shelter. Then you need to have good social standing, like friends and stuff. And then like there's maybe something else in between, but like the last one, the fifth one's like self-actualization, where you know yourself so much. Sometimes I think that like us in the first world just create problems, like first world problems. If you're living in like Asia or Africa in like a hut, you're like, dude, I don't have time to worry about what Tiffany's doing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who cares? I could go to work tomorrow. Sometimes I think that's like what we have here. It's like I have depression, or I have anxiety. It's like, yeah, I guess I can see it, but I think always being tapped into technology, always seeing what other people are doing, can definitely lead to that. If you just don't know what other people are doing, you're just doing what you want, right? I mean, you don't have anybody to impress. or anything. You're just doing what you want. I think just having so much just constant input into our brain about politics, YouTube videos of people going to crazy places. You have so many, inputs, too much going on in your brain, I think, sometimes. I don't think we were built for this. I mean, you can intake a lot, but, we don't need to know what everybody else is doing all the time. I hope that makes sense, but I think you just gotta find happiness in where you're at. Work to where you want to go, but find happiness in where you're at, because in reality, wherever you're at is not as bad as it seems. And even if it is bad, you have other people in the same position as you. So reach out, talk to them, and get the help you need if you are really struggling. Yeah, whatever you do, don't be afraid to get help. If you really are really struggling, don't be afraid to get help. Being human is not easy, right? I will say that being human is just not easy. We were listening to the Hamilton soundtrack, and George Washington was telling Alexander Hamilton, dying is easy, living is harder. And I think that's actual, sometimes factual. We all have a drive to live, but no one said living is easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not terrible, but you got responsibilities, and you have to find some sort of purpose, or try to find some sort of meaning. And sometimes, that was a good pass by Bo Nix. Broncos just got like 30 yards. I don't know, it is tough, like, trying to find some sort of meaning and everything like that. I think for me, my meaning is teaching kids social studies. I think that's what I'm doing right now, specifically. And I think I do a good enough job of it. But it is difficult as a teacher. Like, some kids need more. And in certain respects, I can't give more. It's just, I don't know what you need from me. I'm still figuring things out myself. I mean, I live in someone else's house. I don't have a house. I'm still working on my own thing. And, I don't know what you need from me. So, it is kind of difficult sometimes. Ooh, Bo Nix is going to run it. He's got like a 1 yard to go for the first down. Wow. But yeah, I think for me, my goals are selfish right now. It's just find an apartment where I can live myself and cook my healthy food, and find a good routine for the gym, and just having the ability to do that even when I don't want to, which I can do. I mean, I can lock in, don't get me wrong, but I think I gotta figure out a good system for it. Broncos just got a touchdown here. Ooh. It's gonna be 10. Ooh, Cooks is upset. He's the guy who fumbled it. It's going to be 10-7 here, most likely. That was a tight end or linebacker catching him, it looks like. Big old guy. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna just do lifting. Focus on lifting. Try to get to the no, you can't say try if you're gonna do it. It's gonna be like you're gonna go to the gym 6 days a week. Cut it into lifting. I think for me it's difficult for me to stay in one spot for an hour. Especially if there's people around me after the school day. I can sometimes be a little bit overstimulated. I've been around too many people for too long. And I would like to just be able to not feel trapped. I want to be moving around. No worries, you know. But I think one of my ASMR series might be like the gym, like getting into fitness again, before and afters, and using that as like holding myself accountable to go to the gym. So like a couple series could be going to the gym, and then another series could be like getting ready for the next day as a teacher. I'm gonna do some sounds and probably sign off here. I'm gonna get one more of these and call it good. I think it's weird when I get up, I just immediately get hotter. I don't know what that is about. It's like I'm sitting here, I don't feel much, maybe because I'm just not focused on it. I get up and my focus changes, and I'm like, it's hot in here, what the heck? I have a student of mine who's a Bills fan. I hope he's watching this so I can talk to him on Monday, Tuesday. He's one of the kids that apparently gets in trouble sometimes. But he's doing great in my class. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I mean, it's the first class of the day. He's different by the last class. He has the last class right next door. And I can hear him shouting, so I'm like, I don't know. I think it is like a thing of the last class is just always going to be different than the first class you have. I think I'm actually just going to finish this half with you. But yeah, my homeroom put together Ellen just overthrew it. My homeroom put together a bracket because we're from New England. We think it's going to be Seahawks, Patriots, with the Patriots winning. The students told me that they actually think the Seahawks would win if that were to be the Super Bowl, but they went with their heart, not their brain, so I respect that. Apparently it's really nice out in Denver, by the way. It's like 58 or something. Way different than it is here. You can't see the snow anymore because it turned dark out, but it was cold and snowy today in good old New England. Yeah, my whole focus this whole week was that 3-day weekend. I said I'm gonna be, consistent all week, which I was, but my whole thing was we got a 3-day weekend coming up, so I'm gonna enjoy it. Slept in today, woke up around 8. Went to bed around the same time as I normally go to bed, but woke up around an hour and a half later. I think that's just because you're tired at the end of the week. I think that's normal. I think that's normal for everybody. Bills have the Choose Love helmets on. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys remember the NBA's Black Lives Matter a couple years ago. I think it was 2020 in the bubble. That was a weird time, 2020. COVID, Cooks got the ball. But yeah, COVID, Black Lives Matter, people protesting in the street. Hey, sorry about that. Apparently my iCloud was full or something. So I just deleted some old videos. Like I said, I am going to finish this half with you guys. We got about 4 minutes left. 7 and 10. But I think I was talking about the NBA 2020 bubble. Lakers won. I remember being in my parents' house watching that. It was good. I used to be a LeBron fan. I remember in 2016 when they beat the Warriors was phenomenal. A+ cinema. Absolute cinema, as they say. But yeah, that was a great series. 7 games. Had the block, had the shot, and then Kyrie Irving went insane. But we all have our periods where we go a bit crazy, right? I guess so. It is what it is. It is, like I said, just being human. I wish he would have stayed with, I don't know, I feel like LeBron would have left anyway, right? That's kind of my thinking. So maybe he kind of was like, LeBron's going to leave anyway. I should just try to find my own way. He went to the Celtics, and we were all very excited about that, but we all know how that ended. That was a weird snap. Allen's got, there's nothing you can do with that snap. That was a terrible snap. He literally just threw the ball on the ground. I don't know what that was. He maybe thought it was under center. I don't know. That was weird. Hit his thigh, looks like. Oh, they got a backup center. That's tough. Come on, let's go, Bills. Look at the stupid Broncos fans. They have literally everybody up on the right-hand side. It's got some time in the pocket. There's the flag. Chucks it for a touch. He dropped it, though. What is with these drops in the end zone? Yeah. The announcer just said it's almost unexplainable how you don't make that catch. I mean, yeah. Weather is holding anyway in the Bills, so they're going to go for another field goal, looks like. Yeah, I don't know how you don't make that catch. Right in the hands. I know it doesn't matter, but you should have caught that. Alright, so I'm thinking it's going to be 10-10 here. Maybe even 10-10 going into the half. 10-10. Trubisky, he's on the Bills now, I guess. But yeah, I hope you like this video. It's not much, but a little bit of a ramble. My plan is to kind of up my production value, do some role plays, get maybe some lighting, things like that. Make it a bit more of a real channel. If you had made it to this and you're still listening, you have a suggestion, let me know, whatever the suggestion is. My plan is to do this for a while, so I think consistency is probably going to be key here. I tell you, I'm getting like the alcohol tiredness. I think sometimes when I drink I just get tired. But like I said, I'm gonna finish this half here. My roommate just went outside, probably to go smoke a cigar. He likes to smoke cigars. I'm partial to a cigar, but I don't want to get mouth cancer or anything, so it is what it is. I'm thinking tomorrow I'll do like a, I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, to be honest. This is my second video today. I filmed, or I did a Breaking Benjamin song tier list and a chip tier list. What are my favorite chips and such. If that interests you, feel free to check them out. I know there's this YouTuber, Mike Perna, who is a Broncos fan, who's probably watching this on a live stream. I don't know if I'm going to be checking it out later. I don't think so. But you never know. Whoa. Playing Dion Dawkins here. Who was this Man of the Year club winner? It's got to be crazy to just play a game for your livelihood, make money doing it, like lots of money doing it too. It's gotta be, I mean, I'm sure it's, I don't know if it's stressful. It's almost just like, yeah, if someone comes in better than you, I mean, it is what it is. It's the one thing about teaching that is stressful is you have to control another human, so to speak, who generally doesn't want to be doing what you're asking them to do for sometimes. That's the one thing about teaching that is stressful. It's just like understanding that, yeah, these kids can do what they want and you really, really can't do anything about it besides just go through the channels that are designed. which is sometimes I always think about what it would be like to work a normal job where it's just like do what you have to do, and you don't have to worry about controlling 20 other people, and your grade, so to speak, isn't relying on how well you control other people. That would be different, but like I said, I mean, the majority of the people that I teach are great, so I think the people in my supervisors understand that, so they really can't be too worried about it. So I think tomorrow or Monday I'll watch Avatar, Fire and Ash. I haven't seen it yet. Gotta do something. I'd be doing something today, but there was a snowstorm, so I just kind of got my car in the garage and called it good today. Hope you guys can hear me. I don't know if I'm speaking too softly or what, but if I am, just let me know in the comments or something. Come on, let's go. I'm worried my iCloud's gonna overflow again. These commercials are taking forever. Oh my god. Not to be a negative Nancy, but jeez. I know as soon as I upload this video to YouTube, I'm deleting it from my phone, because my phone can definitely not overflow. Probably should get it cleaned out and deleted some games, some stuff I don't use, like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, stuff I don't use on my phone, but I am a little worried that this thing's gonna poop out again. And I'll have to delete some more stuff before I can finish up this video, which, like I said, is not a big deal. It's a first world problem. But Denver looks nice. They're showing some Denver photos. 3rd and 3, 10 and 10. Made a weird noise. Oh, got a first down, it looks like. Oh, the guy's injured. The man is injured. He's alright, it looks like. Guy in the middle, check down, failed check down. I don't know what happened there. It's a big guy. Yeah, it knocked off his, is Bosa the same guy, Nick Bosa? I know they're brothers in the NFL. I don't know who's on the Bills then. You know what I don't get? I don't get eye black. What does eye black do? I'm sure it does something with the sun. I just don't know what. Like, reflects the sun out of your eyes. I just couldn't tell you what. The thing about football that is weird, though, is that they have a minute 12 seconds left. clock's still running. And whatever they don't get, if they don't get a field goal, they don't get a touchdown, they gotta restart next quarter. It's like, it doesn't matter if you were at the 35. No, you're starting over. That's going to be a punt, and you got to start over. It is cool, I think, that they do that. It makes it a little bit more exciting. Or else, teams would just run down the clock during the first half, at the end of the first half. So I think they did design it cool. Some of these games are actually pretty interesting how they made them, like, over the years. Baseball, it's like 3 strikes, they got to that somehow. 3 strikes and 4 balls, they got to that somehow. Like the bases and all the rules and the strike zone. It's wild how they came up with it. Like something that would work. Okay, so the Broncos are in field goal range. There's a flag though. The thing about football, which is cool, is like the plays. It's like we're gonna design a play where hopefully someone gets open. Or like we're gonna make a lane for the runner using these giant guys to push other giant guys away. It is pretty cool. I don't know how many plays are in a NFL playbook though. I mean, you'd think 100 more. And they gotta remember them, and they gotta know exactly what to do. They gotta practice them. Defense is interesting too. I don't know much about defensive plays. It's like zone, or is it more reactive? I feel like defense in the NFL is more reactive. You gotta read the offense, find your man, or if you're in the zone, guard your spot. And see if you can stop them. But we got 44 seconds left. See what we got. I tell ya, I'm not a big drinker. I am feeling it a little bit. I'm not drunk or anything, but I do feel it in like the headspace, Yeah, I don't drink a ton, but it is nice sometimes to get a little tipsy, right? And you're an adult. It is weird being a teacher sometimes, I will say that. Like, you spend most of your time with children. Children are very different than adults. They're very different than adults. You don't know what's going on at all. They have no idea. Anyway, I'm gonna play the blues pentatonic scale for you. That last note, this note's right here. On the big string, this string right here, which is supposed to be an E string in standard, is off because it's tuned down 2 steps, 2 tones, so this might sound better. I don't know. Just didn't sound good. That last string at least. Yeah. Gonna be doing this a lot this weekend. I don't have many things I have to do next week. For next week, I have my review games for the Constitution all set up, and I have my test already, so I'm just gonna watch a movie the next 2 days. I'm not gonna try to get kids to do work that is pointless, so but I'm not gonna see them for 2 months. So I think I might show a movie. I think I made a list, 42. Lincoln. What else did I choose? 42 Lincoln. The ones that I thought of. It's gonna be some sort of history movie, but 13 Days in October with Kevin Costner, which is a good one. And I think I'm forgetting one more, but I hope they choose 13 Days in October. I think they'd actually enjoy it. Bills almost picked Bo Nix here. Anyway, sorry, the iCloud keeps going out, so I'm just gonna sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed. More to come, more, high depth, more produced ASMR to come with role plays and everything. So if you do want to subscribe, I'd much appreciate it. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys meet your goals. Anyway, keep shutting off, so I'm just gonna sign off here. Bye, everybody.